So what I have planned is it should take about maybe 20 or 30 minutes to go through this short practice, and it's based on Vini Yoga, which is a system that includes all kinds of things like asana practice, doing the poses like we're going to do, as well as breathing practices and the study of philosophy, all to do a comprehensive practice based on an individual unique needs. So what I have planned for us, since it's a Sleepytime yoga class, is going to be basically like a very simple movement practice that's going to have a little bit more emphasis on using the breath to enhance the effects for a more relaxing kind of practice. So that's where we're headed. And like many practices, this is a pretty general one. It's also pretty short. So one of the things that I offer is one-on-one instruction, and it happens via the magic of internet like this. We can do it via Skype, or I also have space in Catonsville, Maryland, if you want to meet up in person and do a practice with me in person. So that's what I'm up to. So I have you guys muted right now, and then if you want, if you can hold your questions until at the end of the practice, so that that just kind of reduces the noise for the recording for later. And also, I know I'm like, it feels kind of weird to me. I'm just like staring straight at my computer screen. There's not anything else going on. I'll try not to stare at you awkwardly while you're doing your practice on the other side of the computer. So I've got some tea, I'll drink some tea. And so, you know, when I'm watching video, I'm also watching people practice. So if you see me like staring at what's going on, I'm watching people on the video, that's what's happening. So we'll go ahead and get started then. So go ahead and just get comfortable. So you can sit up in a chair, or if you'd rather sit on the floor, that's fine. If you want to prop up on some cushions, or if you can't be comfortable sitting up and you'd like to lay down, that's fine too. So go ahead and just make yourself comfortable. And then once you're comfortable, then you can let your eyes close. And just take a few moments just to check in and feel your breath moving in and out through your nose. And as you breathe in and out, you might also be aware of how your breath is moving your spine and moving your body. So you can be aware of the movement of your chest, your rib cage, maybe expanding and contracting with your breath. Maybe there's a movement of your belly in and out as you breathe in and out. And then one thing we'll work on is, this is kind of like the default Vini Yoga style of breathing. And so when you inhale, really feel your ribcage widen and your chest lift up. And then at the end of your inhale, let your belly relax. And then when you exhale, start to contract your belly from the bottom up, and then relax your chest and relax your shoulders. So the key points are, when you inhale, the rib cage widens, the chest lifts, relax your belly at the end. And then when you exhale, contract your belly from the bottom up, relax your ribs, relax your shoulders. And you can just practice that a few rounds. And if it feels a little bit different or unusual or hard to get the feeling of that direction of movement and the rhythm of chest and belly, don't worry about it. The next thing we'll do, it'll help reinforce that pattern as we use it moving. So just a couple more breaths. Inhale, chest widens and lifts. And exhale, belly pulls in and up. Good, so next come on down to hands and knees. And we'll practice a couple repetitions of Chakravakasana. So when you come down to hands and knees, if you need a little cushion of the blanket or something under your knees, go ahead and use one if you like. And so when you exhale, you'll contract your belly and rotate your hips back and shift back to child's pose. Bend your elbows and bring your forehead down towards the floor. And then when you inhale, lift your chest, just like we did when we were sitting, and then finally relax your belly so that your low back extends. So you can practice like that a couple times. So when you exhale, pull in your belly, rotate your hips back, then bend your elbows, take your forehead down. And then when you inhale, pull forward, lift your chest, and lift your chin. So you can do that maybe 2 more times at your own pace. And then just see if you can get the breath and movement coordinated together. And then after you've done that twice more, then go ahead and rest back in child's pose for a moment. So that's the basic rhythm of how to use the breath and movement together. Now we're going to start to add in some of the breathing techniques that will help enhance like the relaxing quality of this kind of practice. So next time when you inhale, inhale to the count of 4 to bring yourself back up to hands and knees. And then exhale to the count of 4 to go back to child's pose. And so we're just going to practice lengthening the breath on both parts of the breath 2 more times. So next time when you inhale, now inhale to 5, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to hands and knees, and then exhale back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to child's pose. And do that one last time to the count of 6. So inhale 6 beats of your own count to hands and knees. And then exhale, same, 6 beats back to child's pose. And then once you get back to child's pose, you can just hang back there and take a little rest. So it's just a little practice of lengthening both the inhale and the exhales, deepening the breath a little bit. And then next you'll come down so that you're laying flat on your belly. And we're going to practice a little bit of Bhujangasana, so that will help exercise the back a little bit, which will make it easier for your back to relax. Next place we're going is doing some forward bends. This will just help make those forward bends come a little easier. So just have your legs resting long behind you wherever's comfortable. And then it's your choice. You can either have your hands back so that your elbows are pointing up towards the sky, or you can slide your palms more forward so that they're on either side of your face. So whichever is more comfortable for your shoulders. I tend to prefer this one. It just feels a little better on my shoulders for me. And then you can either turn your head to one side and alternate turning your head side to side as we come up and down, or you can just tuck your chin and rest your forehead down in the mat or the floor. So whichever you prefer. So we'll do that just a few times, so just to warm up the muscles in the back a little bit more. So next, when you inhale, lift your chest and engage the muscles in your back. And then when you exhale, lower back down again. So again, we're coordinating breath and movement together. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, lower down. It doesn't have to be a huge movement, just use the muscles in your back. And do your best not to press too much with your hands. Instead, you can kind of pull back with your hands to engage your back muscles more. And exhale back down. Let's do that 2 or 3 more times just to keep practicing breath and movement. And this is the hardest thing that you'll have to do for the next few minutes. This is the most work that you'll do. Inhale up. And exhale back down. And one last time. And exhale back down. And now flip over so that you're laying on your back. And then once you come onto your back, bring your knees into your chest. So you can take a hand onto each knee. This is called Apanasana. So this is a nice stretch for the low back, and you're just gonna stay really low to the ground for the rest of this practice. So now when you exhale, pull in your belly and bend your elbows, bring your knees in closer towards you. And then when you inhale, straighten your arms and press your knees away. So you're just gonna go back and forth like this a couple times. Exhale, pull the belly in, bend the elbows. And inhale to straighten the arms and press the knees away. So just a couple more times at your own pace, and really just continue to focus on that feeling of coordinating breath and movement together. So if you go faster or slower than me, is totally fine. And then next time you exhale, you can take a moment to rest. And then we'll do a little reclining twist here, and we'll again begin to incorporate a little bit of that manipulation with the breath. So I'll show you how this will work, and then I'll count you through it. So it's up to you. The gentle way to do this is to keep both knees bent. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. Both knees bent for this one. It'll be easier. Less complicated and also easier. So the movement is simple. When you exhale, you'll lower your knees over to the right and turn your head to the left. And then when you inhale, you'll bring your knees back up to center. And then when you exhale, you'll lower your knees to the left and turn your head to the right. And that's one round. Inhale your knees back up to center. So that's one round, right, center, left, center. So we're going to do a few repetitions like that, alternating and coordinating that with the breath. So we're going to use that same, wait, is this the same pattern? No, we're not going to use the same pattern that we did in child's pose. We're going to do a new one. So the way this goes, you can go ahead and get yourself set up. So have your hands out either side of your shoulders, maybe a little bit lower than your shoulders. And then when you exhale, exhale to the count of 4 as you lower your knees to the right. And then inhale whatever, like you don't have to count it. And then exhale and lower your knees to the left to the count of 4. And inhale, just bring your knees up. There's no specific count for that part. And now exhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as you twist. And then inhale, just a natural inhale. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. And we'll do that again, adding another count. So inhale back up to center. Any old count will do. And now exhale to the count of 6. And you can go your own count of 6. It doesn't have to be 6 seconds, just count to 6. And then inhale back up to center. And then exhale, count of 6 to the other side. And inhale back to center. And now next time you exhale, exhale to the count of 7 over to the first side again. And then stay down there for 2 or 3 breaths and see if you can count now to the count of 8 as you exhale and stay down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then inhale any count, but stay down in that twist. And exhale to the count of 8. Again, fast count of 8 or slow count of 8, any count of 8 is fine. And then do one more inhale and one more exhale to the count of 8 on that first side. And then once you've done that count of 8, now inhale, come back up to center again. And then exhale, slow exhale to the count of 7 over to the left. Head turns to the right. And then again, you'll stay down for 3 more breaths. So any old inhale will do. And then exhale to the count of 7 or 8. And 2 more breaths like that. And so this longer exhale is helping to encourage the body to relax, the nervous system to relax. And then no hurry, but once you've done that 3rd breath, when you inhale, you can come back up to center. And then when you exhale, you can hug your knees into your chest and just take a few just nice, smooth breaths in and out through your nose with your knees into your chest. So we're doing a couple things to help encourage the nervous system to relax here. One thing is to work on lengthening the exhale. And then also adding in these staying in one position that also helps just to create a little bit more relaxing kind of practice. So we're just going to continue with a similar pattern here. So now you're going to hold on to behind your knees. And then when you inhale, reach your heels up towards the sky and straighten your legs. Keep pressing your low back towards the floor. And then when you exhale, bend your knees and bend your elbows, bring your knees more towards your chest. And we'll do that a couple more times like that. So when you inhale, reach through your heels, straighten your legs, press your low back down. And when you exhale, bend your knees and bend your elbows. So we're practicing some forward bends here. So this is a forward bend. And then when you inhale, you straighten your legs. It stretches the hamstrings and the back a little more. And the next time you extend your heels up to the sky, you'll stay in that position for a few breaths. So when you exhale, stay there and pull in your belly, kind of pull your belly towards the floor. And when you inhale, just keep reaching through your heels. You can even pull your toes back a little bit. And when you exhale, you can kind of just like back off a little bit, work a little less hard. And then when you inhale, you can just stretch a little bit more. Just be gentle about it. And then when you exhale next, you can bend your knees and rest your feet back on the floor. One at a time is nice. And it might feel nice to just close your eyes and take a few breaths here. And just feel the effects of what you've done so far. And so one of the things that you can do as you continue to practice some of these yoga sequences is just give yourself a little bit more space in between doing things to kind of slow down and rest a little bit more. And then eventually when you feel ready, you can roll over to one side and sit up. And then extend your legs in front of you. And depending on how you're put together, you might be more comfortable if you sit up on a cushion or a roll-up towel or a folded blanket or something. So it's hard for you to sit up here. Having sitting up on something can be helpful. So we're just doing a really simple seated forward bend. So you can bend your knees a little bit here, making this more about the back and more about relaxing, so you don't have to go like all out stretching your hamstrings for this one. So bend your knees a little bit, and your hands could just slide up and down your legs, or if you want to do a little bit more work for your back, you can reach your arms overhead. I'm feeling lazy, so arms down. So when you inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then when you exhale, pull in your belly, first around your low back, and then your upper back, and then drop your chin down. And then when you inhale, just come halfway up. So your hands can slide up your legs a little bit, and you can lift your chin a little. And then when you exhale, pull in your belly and fold again. So nice and easy and gentle. Just do that 2 more times. So when you inhale, lift your chest. And then when you exhale, fold a little deeper in. And you can do that one last time on your own. And then next time you exhale, stay down there in that forward bend. And again, you can inhale whatever count is comfortable. And then we'll use that same pattern again. So now when you exhale, exhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and nice big inhale. If you like the half lift, you can bring that back in, or you're just going to stay in that forward bend shape. And then next exhale, exhale to the count of 6. And inhale whatever count works for you. And then exhale to the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then one more inhale here. And if you want to go for an 8 count exhale this time, go for it. If you want to stay with 7 or even 6. So one more exhale. And then your next inhale will bring you back up to a seated position. And then when you feel ready, when you can take your time to lay back on your back again. And after hanging out in that forward bend for a few breaths, it might feel nice to take a little simple back bend so you can relax your arms down by your sides. And then when you inhale, lift your hips, your low back, your upper back up. And then when you exhale, slowly lower down again. And just do that 2 or 3 more times at your own pace, just enough to just help your back relax after that forward bend. So when you inhale, you lift your hips up, and when you exhale, you lower back down again. And then the next stop will be to rest in Shavasana. So it might feel nice after you bring your hips down to hug your knees into your chest one last time. And you can either do the in and out thing with your knees as Apanasana, or you can just hug your knees in. And then eventually you can just make yourself comfortable to rest. So you can rest with your legs straight or your knees bent. You can hang up on me and go crawl into bed if you like. So wherever you are, just go ahead and take a moment to get comfortable. You can cover up if you like, or put on socks. And just make sure your body is comfortable when you lay down to rest. And at this point, you can let go of the control on your breath, and you can just take some time to rest. So you can feel your body resting on the floor. And you can feel the effects of the practice. So you can notice maybe a little bit more awareness of the feeling of the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then for the next few breaths, you can just let go completely and just enjoy a little time to be quiet and still. And I'll bring you back in just another minute. And then when you feel ready, you can take your time to move and stretch a little bit to wake your body back up again. And eventually you can roll over to one side and take your time to sit up. And thank you so much for doing some yoga with me this evening. This is a good time to do a Langana style pranayama practice and relaxing breathing. Same sort of pattern that we just did with a longer exhale, or to get some tea and have a snack and then go to bed.